Good morning, Peacock.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Zia, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to be back from Morocco.
Yes, Morocco. I can't wait to talk about that.
Well, I'm happy to be back in U.S. soil. And I know that we have some exciting things to talk about today. So, why don't you tell us what today's podcast is going to be about?
You know what? I'm so excited about this podcast too because we're like you said, we're just getting back from Morocco and there's so many things I think that we have learned. We're entering our third year, which I cannot believe. It's kind of crazy, right?
Very crazy. Yes, time flies.
But I think you'll agree with me that what we've learned of all the trips that we've done, of all the trips that we've had, is that we're building a sisterhood through travel. There's so much power in our shared experiences, and I think Morocco was one that really shared a different light for me. And I think that's one of the things that I want to share with our listeners. You know, the power of what we have when we share these experiences. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I think that it's not just traveling, there's a lot more that comes with that. I mean, it may start off with a group of semi strangers, just because we do offer the meetups in our Zoom calls twice before we actually meet up in the country we're visiting. But then you can see how the camaraderie starts growing and how the the women are starting to vibe and they share experiences. And by this last trip was a 9 days 8 nights. Day one, everyone was kind of like, okay, this is going to be cool. By day five, they were travel besties, which is our famous line.
I think, exactly what you're saying. It definitely created a deep bond. At first, everybody's all real polite and very, not that anybody isn't polite throughout the entire trip, but it's almost like your girlfriends. Once you're getting towards the end, everybody's just chilling, they're vibing. We're discovering shared moments through the adventures, through the personal growth that we're having, even as individuals. And I think that when you share something that you're overcoming together as a group, we're laughing over a meal, we're talking about the experiences, how we felt, and like, oh, you felt that too. I think that that is what really brings the power together. And then we lead, that starts like the beginning of, leading into new friendships. And we'll talk about that as well, as to how we've been able to have people that never knew each other before, to now they're having coffee, or they're going out for a hike, or they're doing things that normally you wouldn't have done had you not had this connection.
And I agree. I think that in the past, we've talked about how you have friends and then you have travel friends. And some
Absolutely.
of your friends do not have the opportunity to travel for a variety of reasons. That we've got people who are very dedicated to their careers and don't want to take time off, which is a different episode that we should cover. They have partners that don't like to travel, but they don't want to travel without their partners. There are women who I can't afford traveling. And that's a reality also. But, we do offer payment plans for the situations. And so when you have travel friends, it really does become a different type of group because you can plan with them. You can talk about countries that you would love to visit. Some of the places that you would never think about visiting alone, but you know that if you pitch those ideas to us, we might make it happen. So I think that travel friends is a different level of friendship. You might never talk to each other the whole year, but once you connect in Bali or in Dubai, it's like you start off again where you left off in the last trip.
And this leads me to the two next things that I was thinking about, talking about and sharing. This is where women are supporting women. Traveling in a group of like-minded women, it fosters that sense of empowerment, it's support, it's encouragement. It really, I think, creates a space where women can uplift each other. You share your life stories, you inspire confidence in one another, and that's where you're creating the sisterhood that extends beyond that trip. And to your point, you may not see them all year long, but the minute you connect again on another trip, let me tell you how fast that connection sparks up again. How many times have we not had travel besties that have been on a trip to Cuba, and then they meet up again and they're in the trip in Dubai and they're like, oh my God, like they were long lost, connections that just sparked right back up. And to us, Sandy, you and I always look at each other and we always have that smile that extends from ear to ear because we see the power of bringing that sisterhood together. And that's what our, I believe, is our fulfillment. This is what we started as two besties, supporting each other through, you know, our careers, so to speak, and then leading into something of the unknown, and now building this platform that we're seeing the outcome of new travel besties coming together. I think that to me is the most beautiful part. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yes, and I think it's so much more than just travel because at some point during the travel, we realized that this woman that is traveling in my group, who's a total stranger, who if I just told my whole life story to, actually can resonate with what I'm saying, and she has
Yes.
great advice.
Yes.
Or we have another woman who has children the same age group as ours or mine, and she can give us advice on how to maneuver through this journey that we're in, or women who are needing advice on getting divorced or not getting divorced, or they want to know about, or they need encouragement, for example, about retiring. And what am I going to do after I retire? So if you get a bunch of women who have traveled with us in a room and you say something like, I want to travel, I want to retire, but I don't know what I'm going to do after, they're going to jump on you like banshees because they're going to be like, girl, you need to retire. But, because sometimes we are our own worst enemies and we doubt ourselves. And like I was having a conversation with a friend this weekend, and we were talking about how our parents, since we are daughters of immigrants, and your dad was definitely a lot more advanced, but he was a man. My mom was always afraid to buy a home because she was afraid that we were never going to have enough money to pay for it, right? And and sometimes those type of fears fall over to us. But I was telling my friend, I was like, yeah, but you can't compare us to them. We are educated, we speak the language, we've had careers. So we're not in the same situation as them. So for them, taking a risk was so much harder, and some of them did not take a risk. And thank God your dad did take a risk. And it turned out to be great. And it would have been a great story for all our parents, right? But we are in a situation today where if you want to retire or if you want to move on to open up a side gig, we are there to support you. We'll give you the pros, we'll give you the cons, and you'll have a whole plethora of women who are going to give you their insight. And we're going to be nothing else but a whole inspirational gang of women. And that's what it is, not just travel. It really is a whole experience.
You bring a really good point about sharing our experiences as daughter of immigrants. And I'm going to say, for me, everything you just described is basically what it boils down to is that we are the realization of our parents' dreams.
Yes,
Everything our parents wanted to dream, like we are making it happen. And when you come into our groups, our travel groups, you are going to find people that are going to exchange ideas. They're going to collaborate on business ventures. They're going to inspire you to make that next big move, which is what you're talking about, whether it's retiring or making a decision to do a side
gig.
entrepreneur business, anything, right? But really boils down to is that here you have two of us, daughter of immigrants. We watched our parents work day in and day out. And our work ethic is just like theirs. And sometimes, it's sometimes we have to remind ourselves that it's okay to rest. But when we are traveling with these group of women, it really is like a networking, it's professional and personal growth is that you're finding with Two Peacocks Travel. I have to say that, that is one of the things that I also enjoy watching unfold. You can come from New York, Atlanta, Texas, LA, and we all meet at Dubai. And guess what? We're all on the same playing field, ready to take on this adventure, which I think is the most beautiful thing. and to have experiences that you would have never thought in your wildest dreams. Like, I never thought we would be taking a photo shoot at sunrise, right? With these glammed out dresses and our makeup and everything in a desert in Dubai. Like, when did you think that was ever going to happen?
Not in 2020 or 2022 or 2023. So,
No.
yeah, I totally agree with you that, again, the experiences that we are curating in these group of women are things that you will remember. And if you remember in that trip, some of the women were very doubtful about doing the photo shoot, and it was because either they felt they were, beyond the age group to do something like this, or they felt that their size was either too big and they couldn't look sexy or whatever it is. And some of the women said, oh no, I'll just do it next time. And I remember saying, well, when are you coming back to Dubai? And they were like looking at me like, oh, I guess not ever. I guess this is a one-time trip type of thing, right? Because we're not trying to repeat countries. So I think that it was such an inspirational and group decision to do the photo shoot that they really truly just took it on. And to this day, they love it. If you go to their Instagram stories and to their posts, everyone has a picture from Dubai on there.
Yes.
Oh, several pictures.
I was just going
And
to say several pictures.
yeah, and it was just such a great, but again, that really is a testament to how the dynamics work with the group. And it's just not, it's about networking. It's about, like you said, professional development. It's knowing people. It's nothing more than a networking event overseas, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who's going to know whom, right? And it's really lovely to make new friends, especially at this age, Anna. We just can't be making friends. Like, you know what I mean? We have a lot of friends. They've got to be, people that have been through life, education, because it's hard to connect with women sometimes that, cannot understand your own struggle and who are on a different page. So when you come together with a group of women who you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you all my life, or we went to high school together, it really does become such a beautiful network of women that will continue to reconnect trip after trip after trip.
100%. I agree with you 100%. I mean, when we're talking about, I know that our process of selecting destinations, is kind of like, you people will ask us, how do you guys pick this? And people think that it's like a straight line, like, oh yeah, we're going to go here and it's going to go step 1, step 2. And really it becomes, it's a conversation that's kicked off, and it usually starts with you saying, Anna, when we're here, we're going to go from this country to this country. And I'm just listening and I keep an open mind, and I think, oh my goodness. But those are the experience that have gotten us to be driving through Slovenia, visit Croatia. We've gone over to, I mean, where else haven't I gone? And now, from taking that idea, is like, well, if I'm in Morocco, I can just jump over to the Canary Islands now. Like, it's
Exactly.
super easy. But that wouldn't have happened had I not seen that possibility. And I think that that's how women see it now, because even when you were heading back from Morocco, you had a layover in Paris, right? And what did you
Yes,
do? You're like, I'm going to find the one restaurant I really enjoy, and I'm going to enjoy that long layover. And it really gives you that opportunity to have one more experience that you wouldn't have had. It's not like we can be from LA. Oh, I'm going to Paris for dinner. We're not there yet. We may be one day, but we're not there yet at this point. But the fact that you were going from Morocco to Paris to LA, why not take advantage? So when we're putting together these trips, we really focus on interest, shared goals. We want it to be overall a meaningful experience. And that can be a cultural immersion, it could be wellness, it could be adventure. I mean, who would have imagined? I never thought. Here's another one example, Machu Picchu. Okay, not only did was I in Machu Picchu, I was in Machu Picchu on my birthday. Never in a million years would I have said that was going to happen. The fact that we climbed, did we train for it? No. Should we have? Probably. But nonetheless, we all made it together as a group. And to have a group of women that I didn't know before, maybe one or two prior to that trip, sing to me happy birthday, that was very special. So for me, being able to curate these group dynamics is really bringing women together with similar passions and travel styles and sharing that experience. So that's what I think Two Peacocks, if we can put it all in a nutshell, that's what Two Peacocks travel symbolizes.
Yes, and we've had a lot of birthdays on these trips. We've had birthdays in
Yes, we
Oaxaca,
have.
we've had birthdays in Dubai, we've had birthdays in Machu Picchu, and so we're going to have another birthday in Dubai this year. And I think it's just such a beautiful testament that if you want to spend your birthday in a foreign country, it's okay. You could do it. You should do it. Why not? I think that we have to also make sure that we don't let fear stop us from doing the things we want to do. And as you know, in our old world when we worked in a hospital, every time we walked into someone's room who wasn't going to make it, I just remember thinking to myself, I hope that whatever this person was doing yesterday was worth it. That they said they love their families, that they love their children, and then they were happy because here today and gone tomorrow. And that's not to be, like a bit Debbie Downer, but that is a reality of life. It is a reality of life. We cannot say, oh, maybe I'll go to Dubai in 2027. 2027, that's really taking advantage that of a reality that we might not be here in 2027. And why delay things? Um, so that really is such a testament to the women who have leaped forward and said, I'm going on this trip. I'm scared as hell, but I'm going on this trip. And then they come back and they're like, I don't know why I was so scared.
You
Why
know
am I
what?
so
You're
scared?
absolutely, how many times have we heard that? I don't know why I was so scared. And
Especially when they go to Cuba.
yeah,
They're very
Cuba's
scared.
one. People tell us all the time. But you know what? You made a really good point. I think, you know, our platform or our space that we share with others really leaves room for encouraging women to create traditions. So if it's your birthday, celebrate it with a trip. Go out and enjoy. I mean, you can ask, and it's on our, and you can go back and look at our social media posts of the women that we've celebrated throughout, and every single one of them, the smile that they have is like no other. The bonds that they created on those trips, you can't fake that. So at this point, we're all about creating traditions, and then we're also adding now, let's talk about our reunions. We created a travel bestie brunch to celebrate all of our travel besties that have joined us in the past up to today. We should count how many there are total. I've lost track, but to be able to come together with the women that you've traveled with. So now this is going to be a tradition for us that every year we will have an annual Trevi travel bestie brunch, um, to have everybody connect, talk about what the next destination is, reminisce on the memories, on the laughter, and we just had one a week ago, right? A week ago Sunday, we were
Yes.
able to host. Um, Thank you so much to our host Jessica Zwal, who was so kind to open her home to us, and we were able to welcome 25 of our travel besties. Not everybody can join because some of them are out of state, but nonetheless it was a beautiful opportunity to bring together women that have traveled with us and listen to each other from different trips. One went to Oaxaca, someone else was in Dubai, someone else was in Dubai, Cuba, and the Christmas market. Like, that's the beauty of it, and I think it really brings together that camaraderie of sisterhood, which, this is what we're all about.
And, it was a great event. And we definitely look forward to putting together this event every March during Women's History Month because we have to celebrate each other and we have to celebrate our achievements, our travels, anything that's happening in our lives that is worth celebrating with other women. So I agree, Anna. It was successful and I can't wait for next year. So, where are we going next?
Well, we are gearing up for April. I can't believe we're already in March, but April we are headed to Cuba, and that's already a sold out trip, which is so exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting. It's very exciting because it's going to be a little bit longer than our other Cuba trips because we're going to be visiting Havana, then going to Trinidad, and we're going to be visiting Vinales, and then back to Havana. So, yeah, we're very, very excited about this trip. It's going to be fantastic. And then after that, we're heading out to Dubai. Um,
Yes.
Dubai is an amazing trip, and we still have space. So if you're interested in joining us in Dubai and taking advantage of our glam photos, then you should please visit our website, which is twopeacockstravel.com. And if you look under 2025 trips, you'll see all our trips that we have listed on there, and the other trips that include Bali, and we have Oaxaca, we have Peru, and we have Vietnam. And soon, I want to say in the next week or so, we'll be releasing the Christmas markets in Europe and the Danube River, which is also an amazing trip. And we're excited to announce that also. But I want to take this time, Anna, just to announce also our Wander Bridge trips.
Yes.
So, Wander Bridge is our student travel program that we have once a year in the summertime. And we want to make sure that we prepare the next generation for international travel. I think that sometimes people start a little bit later, but why not start them when they're young? Someone told me when my son was little, don't give them gifts, create memories. And so me and my son have been traveling since he was 4 years old. And I think it has been such a great gift. He's been to a lot of places. And I want to encourage parents out there who are listening to this to take a chance and send your teen or your college student with us. We'll be visiting Egypt the first part of June. It's a 12-day trip to Egypt to visit all the iconic landmarks in that beautiful country. And then we have a second part of our Wander Bridge trips are going to be in Spain. And also, we've been doing the Spain trip. This will be our fourth year. And
Yeah.
our fourth year, yes. So we encourage you to visit our webpage also and click on educational adventures, I think it says. And if you have any questions, Anna and I do travel with the group. We provide all the accommodations and we make sure that the students are always safe. But I think this is a great opportunity. June's around the corner. Take advantage of this great opportunity. And then you guys can share stories about the parents and the students and how traveling has changed their lives. So, but thank you so much, Anna. I really do appreciate all the insight that you provided to our listeners. I think that it's going to be an exciting year for travel.
Oh, 100%.
So if you're not following us already on Instagram, please do so. We are at two_peacocks_travel. And we're also on Facebook. We are on TikTok as well. So we look forward to traveling with you, travel besties. And until next time, Anna, talk to you soon.
Until next time.